Right. Yes. But when we learn to relinquish our will and put it in the hands of the Lord, we are able to do what Christ is telling us to do. And you can have this right here. Letting go. Letting go is just relinquishing the will. The door of freedom is open from the confinement of the bondage and the restraint and the misery and the pain and the anguish that comes when we know we have fallen and we have failed God. There's an agony and a toil to man's soul when they know they've done something wrong. It's like something haunting them and tapping them and constantly reminding them. Sometimes it may be even the guilt of what we've done. But this morning I come to tell you I got good news. If you can just learn to let it go. God has set time where we can be free from all of the agony and the bondage and the things that we go through. And here with Israel, he was setting the play. Amen. He goes on to say, if Israel could learn from the worshiping of the idol gods that they don't need the idol gods and their dependency should be on me, then it is then that they can be free from the torment. Amen. Letting go, no longer captive, no longer in debt, no longer in bondage. Release brings total freedom. Somebody shout. Release. Oh, come on, shout release. I feel some release coming in this morning. I told you I'm going to make the devil mad. I'm going to tell the devil in your face, devil. There shall be some release in the hands. There'll be release in the lives of the people. There'll be release when they'll be able to praise you. Come on and give God some praise. And it's in that struggle that we desire change. Nobody wants to be in a place of falling and displeasure to God. It is in that time that we want to please God. And we have this desire, but our desire and the struggle becomes the fight. Let me say that again. Our desire and the struggle becomes the fight. In other words, what's in our heart ain't quite in our mind, and the struggle is going on back and forth for change. Though we can't see it, tell your neighbor it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. The repetitive redundantness of the practice of whatever it is, whether it's physical or mental. How many know physical, mental, it don't make no difference. It's damaging. When you got something plaguing your mind, it's damaging. It's a hindrance to the will of your heart and your spirit. Whether it's physical or mental, it plagues the mind and it confronts the soul. Now let me tell you something about the soul, because sometimes I believe that we think the soulish nature is some little ghost that sort of floats around inside of us. But let me tell you what the soul of a man is. The soul of a man is his will. Somebody say will. The soul of a man is his desire. Somebody say desire. The soul of a man is his intellect. Somebody say intellect. Those are three things that can get us in trouble. But God come to save the soul. He didn't come to save your flesh. He's already declared ain't no good dwelling in the flesh. He didn't come to save your spirit, because your spirit is nearly the breath of God that he breathed in you to become a living being. But he come to save your way of thinking, your desires, and what you feel about it, your emotions. Somebody put their hands together. What do I mean will? It's your heart. That's right. What you desire to do. Sometimes it needs to be broken. It's got to be broken. It's an interference to what God is trying to do. When our will and our desire It torments your mind. Because on one side, if you could divide the mind up, you got a side saying, you know what you should do. And on the other side, you got your desire and your emotions and your flesh saying, but I want it my way, baby. But God comes to save that and to establish that and put it in a place where it can recognize and realize I need him. As we read the text this morning, the 7th year of celebration and jubilation is going on. Israel is preparing for and release, and they're examining themselves, and they're realizing where they have been and where they need to be. And they're recognizing as Moses begins to speak to them that the God that was God of him will be the God of them when they get to the other side. He's telling them, don't fear nothing. That's what gets us in a lot of trouble when we talk about letting go. Because the fear of what is to come and the fear of the unknown tends to plague us. And it is more comfortable for us to just sit where we at than to go on across over to the Jordan. Let me tell you something a little bit. The history about the Old Testament celebrations, they had 5 sacrifices that they brought. And those 5 sacrifices were these. The burnt offering sacrifice was brought. It was called the Olah. The Olah, it was an offering of the morning and the evening. Right. In other words, they worshiped and praised and made the sacrifice of praise by the burnt offering in the morning and the evening. Right. The second was the grain offering. And this grain offering was yielded from their field. But it was without leaven. In other words, it was just flat bread. There was no bloodshed. Wasn't no blood from the blood of animal. But they just brought the grain offering out of the field. And they brought it to the tabernacle as a sacrifice unto God. Then the next one is the peace offering. The shalom. Somebody say shalom. It was the sacrificing of the bull and the goat and the lambs and whatever, the cow, whatever